Good morning, everybody. Coming at you with another Subie and You episode. So I have my first guests, as in two people. It's a couple. And also, it's one of their birthdays today. So that's super cool that this is coming out on that person's birthday. I also have my first Subaru Forester on the show. So that's super cool. Have a different car this time. And we'll get into the build and a little bit about them too, which we will hear about here in a little bit. All right. I want to say thank you again so much to everybody who listens to the podcast, first of all, and then everybody that shares it in their stories and sends me DMs. It's actually getting a little full, but that's a good thing. That's a good problem to have. Not that it's a problem, but it's just a good thing to have. So by saying that, I'm trying to keep track of all of them. So if at some point I miss somebody, I'm very, very sorry, but I'm going to try to keep up with it as much as I can and for as long as I can, because I really like doing that for everybody, because you have all been extremely amazing in all of the support that you give for this podcast, but not just for the podcast, but for all of your fellow Subie owners, because you are listening to their stories, and this podcast wouldn't exist if you all didn't listen. So let's get into those shout outs. We've got Journey XV, Chief Torres, Seb Impreza 2020, KK Subie, Java Wagon, That Sinister Mustache Man, 805 X-Trek, Bruce the Baja. I didn't mention it before when I first did the intro, but the guests that I have on are the owners of Seattle Fozzy. So let's get into their story.
I am a understudy, they call me Instant Day. Hey! When you fail, I come in and I take it all away. Hey! Yeah, I am the one you hate, I am the one you need.
I'm glad y'all have been having a good day, and good you got home a little early so we can get this started sooner, which wasn't a big deal for me, but you know, I know it's I mean, getting anything started earlier is better anyway.
Yeah.
So, but I guess you can start off by telling us a bit about yourselves, what part of the country you live in, and anything else that you feel like sharing.
Well, I'm Zane, here with my wife Alina.
Hi.
We're from Seattle, Washington. I'm 25. She's going to be
27 here in 1 week exactly, actually.
happy early birthday to her.
Yeah, nice. Happy early birthday. So wait,
Thank you.
next Monday?
Yeah, exactly, next Monday.
Oh, well, you know what? This will be released on your birthday.
Oh.
No way.
Yes. Yes, because this is the one I'm going to release next week. So happy birthday.
Oh, yay.
That's cool. That
Thank
worked
you.
out.
So
Yeah,
she
you're
will
welcome.
be 27.
Nice. Cool. What a nice
we're married.
birthday gift, huh?
Yeah, not terrible. Not terrible at all. Trying to one-up me here.
Yeah, she's going to be in the spotlight now. Come on, you got to pick it up, Zane.
Yeah, move
I know,
aside,
I
Zane.
know. But then to continue with your question, we're married. We've been married since October 20th, so 10/10/2020 is when we got married.
Oh, nice. Not too long.
What?
October 10th, 10/10/2020.
Yeah.
You said October 20th.
Oh, my bad. October 10th, 10/10/2020.
Can't get the anniversary wrong.
Man, already failing here. So yeah, we've been married since then, but we've been together since 2014. Lived together, 2 dogs, and yeah, I'm ready to take over from there.
Yeah, I think Zane pretty much has it covered. Again, we are from the Seattle area, mainly born and raised here, so we know the area super well, and been together for quite a while now, so here we are.
That's good. You have 2 dogs and a Subaru.
2 dogs and a Subaru. That's going to be our podcast.
What more can you ask for?
Yeah, there you go. So what does Foz or Fozzy mean in reference to a Forester, and where did that term come from? Because I see it, you know, there's quite a few Foresters out there that have the name Foz or Fozzy in there, and I tried looking it up online, and I got some kind of different results, so I'm not really sure what it's actually supposed to be.
I didn't know about it until after we got it. I just started looking up names of Forester to try to find like a screen name or an Instagram handle. And I got a couple different explanations. Like one of them just says it's just shorthand for Forester. The other one that I got was it's an abbreviation for, like, they both originate from Australia. And what I got was it's an abbreviation for like Forester in Australia. So Fozzy, it's,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it sounds cool.
I saw something that said something about Fozzie Bear from the Muppets because he did some commercials or something. some
I didn't see
Forester
that, but I love
commercials.
that explanation.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah.
We'll go with that explanation.
Yeah. I don't, so I don't know. I mean, but it is a cool name. It's a cool nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to roll off the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. So, the name of your car is obvious because it's Seattle Fozzy and you're from Seattle, but were there any other names in consideration?
So when we're actually looking at possible usernames for, our profile, our account, our car, we were kind of thinking about, we're in the Pacific Northwest, like, should we play around with Pacific Northwest? And at the time, we didn't really know about Fozzy or Foz, so we're even thinking just Pacific Northwest Forester, something like rain, something that has to do with, Seattle, the area where we're from. And we actually ended up thinking, okay, why don't we just make it more specific? Let's go with Seattle specifically. And again, let's go with Fozzy just because that is kind of, in a weird way, it's sort of an inside joke for all Subaru owners, since I would definitely say, if you say Fozzy to anyone who does not own a Subaru, they have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we landed on Seattle Fozzy. I did want to mention, though, that when we're not talking about Subarus specifically, we do refer to our car as Henry. That was his original OG name, is Henry.
Ah, okay. That's good.
Is Henry the Seattle Fozzy?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. That's good. So you said something about rain in Seattle? Really? There's rain?
Oh, yeah. You didn't know? It's pretty gray.
Yeah, when I was
I
there.
don't love it, though. It's a pretty consistent drizzle more than anything. Like, I lived in Georgia for a while, and anytime it rained there, which I'm assuming it's the same way in Texas, it is dramatic.
Oh, yeah. It's very dramatic here. I mean, because I that's what I had heard about Seattle when I was there, is that it was kind of like just a constant drizzle, and it wasn't, you didn't get like the big giant thunderstorms like we get here. And when I was there for a week, and it rained for like half the day on Monday and Tuesday and I think Wednesday, and then in the afternoon it didn't rain, and then the rest of the week it was fine, no rain at all. But Seattle was beautiful. I loved it.
Yeah, when you come out here next time, you got to go out to the mountains or the ocean side. It's kind of diverse in its area. But yeah, we went with that just because Seattle Fozzy, it's unique.
And I would also say, too, if you do get the chance to come back up here, I would highly recommend coming in the summer. Seattle folks are actually completely different when it comes to the summertime. I think we're just used to hibernating and staying indoors so much that when there's a small glimpse of sun, everyone's outdoors, everyone's doing something outside, trying to, take in as much.
The moment.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to take in as much sunlight as they can, just because it is so rare for us to have sun up here. It's not like it's completely dark up here all the time, but
Yeah.
we just really enjoy the sun when we see it.
I'm sure. Yeah, with it being rainy like that pretty often, I'm sure it's nice to see some sun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Yeah,
not.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm not doing this on purpose. It's just the way that these episodes have kind of played out, and just the people that have contacted me. But so y'all are also members of the Rugged Roo crew, because I think y'all are like number 4, for the podcast. But I mean, and it just worked out that way. I didn't do it on purpose. But how did y'all find out about the Rugged Roo crew, and when did you start like meeting up with them?
Well, Dorothy reached out to us around the time that she started it, which I think was like August or September. She messaged me, which I'm the one who mainly runs the page. So she messaged, and she's just like, "Do you want to be a part of a Subaru crew that I'm starting?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, why not?" So following that, she put me into a group chat with a bunch of other people who own Subarus, and it kind of clicked immediately as far as our personalities. We're all kind of goofballs. And I don't know the official day that we first met, but that was the day that we rode with Brian Lipke. I think I'm saying his name right. I always feel like I'm saying it wrong. And Dakota, who was just on the last podcast.
Yeah.
As of today. And so we met up with them, and we all went up north and drove towards Mount Baker. But it's been a while.
Yeah, well, that's good to know that you're the one that runs the page, because I was curious about that. I wasn't sure if it was her or if it was somebody else. So that's good to know.
Yeah, I would say I don't know why, but I think it's just because we have the Instagram page for our dogs already. So I was like, why not create a page for our car as well, you know? And so I definitely kind of pushed Zane towards creating the page, but similar to our dog page, Zane's the one that runs the actual social media accounts for us.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good to know. So what does it mean by the official basic of the Rugged Root crew?
Let's see, how can I say this with being a little bit nice? So the first ride, we all met up at the Northgate Mall, which is now being turned into the ice rink, I think, for the Seattle, what is it, Kraken?
Mm-hmm.
Or the practice rink. Anyway, we met up there, and as we were planning on going to the next meetup site, that way, you know, we could all have everyone staggered, because we have people all the way down south and all the way up north near Canada. And so we met up there. As we were leaving, I made it very clear that Alina and I love coffee, and we were going to get Starbucks before we left. Jokes went around of, you know, being a basic white girl, and it kind of just stuck. So we're the official basic.
Oh, there you go. That's good. I like that explanation. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, coffee's a must.
Yeah, I know. That's I drink it occasionally, but it's never been something where I'm like, okay, I have to have my coffee this morning, or I'm not going to be able to function. So I've never experienced that. So maybe I'm glad, I guess. I don't know.
You'll come to Seattle and you'll need it. When you don't have that vitamin D, you gotta have some coffee.
Yeah, I mean, I'll drink it for sure. You know, but it's not like something that like, oh, I have to have some. What year is your Forester, and what trim level is it?
We went with the 2019, and it's the Forester Sport.
Okay, and when you bought it, did you buy it new or used?
We got it new in 2019 in February. It was actually around her birthday, so this is what, 3 years having it done?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you got the car on her birthday too, huh?
Mm-hmm. Well, not far from it.
Oh, okay.
We got it new just because we were looking at, or at least I was looking at used ones. Alina was more towards get new all the time. I was looking at the used ones just to see what they have, and there wasn't enough of a price difference to justify not spending a little bit more. I mean, they hold their value.
Yeah, and so what was it that made you, or I guess influence your decision to buy a Subaru, and then why the Forester?
Well, the Forester, I'll let Alina answer why we got the Forester.
I would say Subaru, so previously I had a Camry, and it was 10 years old. And so I was kind of like, I was ready for a change. And along with that, my previous car was a hand-me-down from my family. So I was like, I kind of want this to be not the purpose, but this to be the reason for me to actually choose what car I want to drive. And with where we're parking our car right now, we parked right up next to a curb. And with a Camry, it was a lot harder to get in and out of the driver's side, being right up next to a curb. So I definitely wanted more of an SUV type of vehicle. And my parents had actually recently bought a Subaru Outback, I think it's a 2018, and they loved it. They treated that car like it was their baby. And so Zane and I were like, oh, interesting. And we actually got the chance to drive it a couple of times when it was snowing over here, and my mom just felt more comfortable with us taking the wheel. So after that experience and just having a really good experience with the cars, some people that we know that own Subarus all love them. It kind of just happened where we're like, why don't we just look at Subaru? And looking at a couple of different models, definitely wanted something a little bit larger. And so the Forester definitely appealed to me as the model to go with.
Yeah, I remember when we were talking, the Outback was just a little too big, and with her parents having it, I mean, you can't get the same car.
No, you can't do that.
And I mean, we were already around that time planning. We'd already been engaged, so we knew that within the distant future, who knows when, but kids are going to be coming, and the dogs and space was a must. So the Crosstrek was definitely out as far as that. The Forza just kind of made sense.
Yeah, no, that's a good decision. I mean, there's always a reason behind getting a particular car and a particular brand. So that's good. I like that. So, before you owned your Forester, I mean, I know you said you had the Instagram page for your dogs, but did you ever imagine that you would have a car that you would have an Instagram page for? Because I know I sure didn't.
Not really. Not really. I mean, I don't think it was too far out of my imagination because, like you said, we already had the dog page. I didn't imagine that I would have one anytime soon. I've seen other people that had them. Like, I think I followed a couple Toyota pickup truck ones already and Ford Ranger ones and all that. Just off-road vehicles and then a few other sports car ones. But
Yeah.
I always imagined that was just a very specific, like a niche kind of thing. But it's way bigger than I expected it to be. I mean, even Subaru aside, which is a huge community, I didn't think that the car community was this big, separate from, meetups and the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Same for me. I mean, I see around here there's not too many, or if any, Subarus that are modded out, but there's plenty of trucks. So I didn't know that
Right.
this Subaru community existed.
Well, out here, there's a lot of Subarus, and I think the farther out you get from Seattle, there's a lot of trucks, too.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely different here. I mean, because I live in the suburbs of Houston, and it's just there's not much. I mean, I see Subarus driving around occasionally, and they're just pretty much daily drivers. And I've connected with some
Right.
people in the Houston area, but I think I might, I'm just doing it because I found this community and I saw what people are doing and I thought it was cool. And I've always liked things that are kind of different, and not the norm. But I never would have imagined that I would be putting decals and wanting to do stuff to my car. I mean, every car I've had before was just like, oh, it's just a car. I like it, but it's just to get me around. But this one is way different this time.
Yeah, I feel that because the decal thing, I've always not been a fan of decals on cars. And, you always have those really old. I think Forester is one of them. You always see like really old small SUVs with nothing but plastered stickers on the back.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I think of decals, I think of that. Like the coexist stickers and stuff. It's just a bunch of that stuff, and I'm like, that's too much. How can you see? But seeing, for instance, Jen at Eccentric Designs, all the stuff that she has, it's given me a new outlook on that. I say.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of what you see is just like it's almost like people just throw up a bunch of random stickers. I mean, I'm sure there's stickers that mean something to them, but
Yeah.
they're not decals, and they're usually like, especially if it's older, they're peeling and they're faded and they're just all over the place, and it looks tacky. And I mean, it's them being expressive with their car and with their stickers and everything. And so now I kind of get it owning my car and having decals on it. I get it more than I did before.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely something new.
It's a whole new trip, though.
Yeah, for sure. So what all do y'all have on your car as far as mods and decals?
So for mods and decals, you wrote a list down here. You have it. Well, for the decals, obviously we got to have the rugged rear sticker. We got to have that, right?
Of course.
We're part of the family. I have speaking of eccentric designs, we got the reflector overlays and a couple more on order for overlays in general. The emblem overlays I got before we actually met, new eccentric designs. I got it from a company called, I think it was like Orsini or something like that.
And I think that was probably the first mod that we actually did.
Yeah, that was actually the first one.
Yeah, were the emblem overlays.
We got that. We got the cold air intake by AEM.
Okay.
That was a hard one because I looked everywhere for cold air intakes. My buddy, he's got a Tacoma with a cold air intake, and the noise is awesome. It's got that low rumble whenever you accelerate.
Yeah.
And every one that I saw for the Subaru was like kind of a custom build, and I didn't know if I trusted that. So they were actually the only ones, at least to my research at the time, that made it for Subaru.
Now, do they make
then
it?
we got the. Oh, sorry.
Do they make it just for the Forester, or do they make ones for all different models?
I didn't look far enough to see other ones. I know they had other options on there. I think they probably make it for the Crosstrek for sure. And I know I did see like a WRX or an STI on there.
Because now you've got me curious.
You got to get it. I'll tell you, when you're driving and you put that thing to the floor, it's got a good noise to it. It'll make you waste a lot of gas. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, that is one thing we've noticed with Zane, especially driving and him wanting to hear the cold air intake. Gas has actually been a little bit more pricey for us recently.
Yeah, it's definitely a drain, but hey, I'll pay for it. I don't care.
Yeah, there you go.
Then the wheels and the tires. When we first got those, I got the black and silver ones. I don't know why. They didn't look good. So then Alina, after some serious convincing, she said, no, we need to go all black. And so we swapped them out, and all black is what we have, and we're not changing that color scheme.
So how soon after you bought the Forester did you get new wheels and tires?
Oh, what, like 15,000 miles? A few months, not long.
And so here's a question I have, because I've been curious about this, and it didn't really hit me until yesterday. I mean, it's crossed my mind before, but I've never thought to ask. What do you do with your original wheels and tires?
I actually just sold them.
Like literally
yesterday. Yeah. We had them sitting around for a while, and I put them up on like OfferUp and Facebook Market, and not a lot of people looking for specific Subaru tires.
Yeah.
But I ran across this guy. His family just bought a 2018 Outback, and it has the same lug pattern. And he wanted the all black wheels because that's what they come with.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we barely use the tires. This is what we're asking. Came to a deal and sold them. It was pretty easy and pretty seamless. Mm-hmm. Once we found someone to buy them, otherwise they were just sitting there.
Yeah, yeah. Because I figured that's probably what people did, but I wasn't really sure. So it's like, do you just have them sitting around? Does the dealership take them back? What happens with them?
That's a good question. I should have asked the dealership if they'd give me new wheels and tires instead of having to try to sell them.
We can help somebody else out now.
Oh yeah, they're gonna look good on that Outback. Where were we at? The mods. We got a few. I mean, we got taillight tint. I did a tint over the indicators on the mirrors just because it looks better with it being kind of seamless all black.
Oh, that's cool.
We also have the Ready Lift 2-inch spacer lift kit.
Okay.
And then the ditch lights. Those ones we got on Amazon. They're pretty sweet. I mean, we got a bunch. It's a long list.
With all of your mods, have you done these yourself, or did you have somebody else do them, or a mixture?
It was me mainly. The only thing that I didn't actually have a hand in doing it was the wheels and tires.
Okay.
But the lift, my buddy, also my best man, he helped me do that. That took I think 6 or 7 hours to do. And then everything else I did myself. And I kind of made a point to do that, mainly because I needed tools anyway. So I was just going to buy tools that I needed for the job specifically as we went along.
Yeah. That's good to have tools for sure.
Oh, yeah. But we live in an apartment that has not enough storage. So they're just sitting here.
Yeah, I hear you.
Floor.
With the Ready Lift, how was that doing that install? Was it, I know it was time consuming, obviously, but was it difficult?
It wasn't terrible. I mean, most of what it was is just making sure you had to have a floor jack, obviously, and some jack stands, and just figuring out how to get it installed. Following the instructions was key. I couldn't take the normal, manly approach of I don't need the instructions. There was no way I was doing that.
Yeah.
So, we did that. I'd say it's a relatively easy thing, but to anyone who wants to do that, definitely, if you don't feel confident, don't do it. My buddy had actually done a lift before like that on I think it was like a Jeep, like a Jeep Renegade or something like that, like one of their smaller SUVs. So he had some previous experience. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it myself.
Yeah, that's good. Now, did you get the did you do the wheels and tires first and then the lift, or did you do it all at once?
We did the lift first because it cost less than the wheels and tires. It was
Yeah.
like $300-400 for that.
Okay.
And then we rode around a while and we realized the need for new tires.
Yeah, plus, it looks good with new wheels and tires, and maybe get something a little bit bigger to accommodate for the lift and just the overall ride and off-road ability.
We actually have this little debate of we're going to be getting newer wheels and tires because if you look at it at a certain angle, it looks like it's got baby shoes.
What do you mean by baby shoes?
I'm really not happy about that.
Yeah. And I would say, like, even for me, like, I'm happy with all the mods Zane has done. I mean, we talk about what mods we want to do together, and he's the one who actually executes it. But for some reason, the wheels and tires is just, we cannot get it right. I don't know. I'm hoping this next go around we're gonna nail it and we'll be good for hopefully a couple years. But yeah.
I mean, like we said earlier, it's still going to be that all black theme. It's just a matter of what tires we decide and what wheels. We kind of haven't picked out, but we're not sure.
So how do you mean that it looks like baby shoes?
Well, I post photos specifically that doesn't show that. But if you look straight from the side view, I don't participate in Side Shot Saturday too much because of this. If you look from the side view, the wheels, there's a lot of space in the wheel well. And if you look at other accounts, they fill that space. And have you ever seen the big trucks that drive around where they got these tiny wheels? And
Yes.
Sky dragged? Yeah, that's what I feel like our car looks like right now.
Come on, you should do once you get the other ones, then you should do like a baby wheels picture and then be like, okay, not for much longer. We got new wheels and tires, everybody.
I'll have to now.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about it. Now people are going to want to see it.
I know, yeah. I'm going to get a lot of comments on that, especially from the crew.
Yeah. All right, that's going to be your new nickname. What's up, baby wheels?
Do not tag that, please. I'm okay with basic, not baby wheels.
Or baby shoes, I guess.
Baby shoes, yeah.
Were there any DIY mods that you've done, or is it all like just like manufacturer bought mods?
Oh, yeah, all of them are manufactured and purchased. The only one that was really DIY in that aspect was the taillight tint. I bought the tint online, and then I, heated it, cut it, and put it on there. Everything else is pretty much pre-made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then same with the fog light tint, too. We did add a amber-colored vinyl on top of there.
Yeah, and it looks way yellow in comparison to the amber color that you'll see on the pictures.
So what's the benefit and reason for putting like the tint over the lights?
So up here, as you've seen, we have a lot of snow in the mountains. So whenever we want to go up there, if at any time it is blizzarding, white lights are going to be terrible with snow. Because you won't be able to see it. It'll be like trying to shine your brights in fog.
Yeah. Okay.
So having them yellow helps you see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. I see that, people do that a lot, and now that makes sense.
And sometimes I think it's just a look, too.
Yeah, typically.
The reason we tried to get it more orange looking was to get it closer to the Subaru Forester Sport orange. But it comes out yellow.
Yeah, so other than your original wheels that not like the original ones that came with it, but your first set of wheels that you got and decided to get the other ones, and now the baby shoes, are there any mods that you were like got that you put it on or whatever and you're like, I'm not so sure about that, let's switch it up and take that off and do something different?
So definitely baby shoes, and I think I got to redo the taillight tint.
Okay. Yeah.
Only because, and again, I post photos where you don't see this,
Yeah.
but So I only did the reflector part. So if you look at our tail lights and you see the red portion and then you see the white portion
Mm-hmm.
or the tinted portion, I did not do the red.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
that connection piece there, it's kind of fraying off because I don't think I let it adhere properly. So that's definitely on the list. But outside of that, not really anything.
Well, that's good. Yeah. So when you first bought the Forester and you were thinking about it, did you already kind of have a list of things that you wanted to do, or was it because I know you said you were following some other accounts and Toyotas and stuff, but did you start compiling a list of like, oh, I want to do this, this, and this, with the Forester, and then was there like one mod that you're like, okay, if anything, we have to do that, and if we can't do anything else for a while, that's one that we have to do.
When we bought it, I think Alina can attest to this, we actually had no intentions of doing any kind of modifications to it. I had plans of so I had an Acura beforehand, and I wanted to mod that thing out, but that got totaled. So I had plans of either getting a truck or something like that later on. I think our intentions for the Subaru was just to be a weather-capable vehicle.
Yeah, it was primarily just going to be my daily driver. And we were okay with that. We didn't really look into, mods or anything specifically, especially right after we purchased it, just because we're like, oh, it's very capable as is. Why do we need to, add any mods to it? And I would definitely say with COVID and the pandemic, that has actually thrown us into researching a little bit more into mods, and especially following more car counts and everything. It really got us a lot more interested. But I think it kind of started after Zane and I went on our bachelorette parties.
Yeah, so my buddy, and I keep mentioning him, Sarab, he owns Tacoma PNW. A little plug there.
Oh, okay.
He's the one who kind of inspired us to do anything. Because he's got the tires in the lift, and he's got the ditch lights, the same ones that we have. We just have the updated version of them, and a lot of stuff like that. And we went for the bachelor/bachelorette party. We say that because we went to the same space, but we got a different Airbnb than they did.
Okay.
Ours was called the frat house for obvious reasons. And so then we actually rented out dune buggies and went to the dunes in Florence, I believe is where it is, in Oregon. So we drove out that and had a lot of fun. And then one day we decided to go in his truck. Mm-hmm. And Alina tagged along because we had extra space.
Yeah, and I was able to just kind of sneak away from my bachelorette party at the time. And I was like, I'm going to go hang out with the boys. They have room for me in their truck. I'm
That's
just going to
cool.
hop in.
Way to go.
Runaway bride. One second she was there, the next she was gone.
Yeah.
Where did she go?
So then we went up into the dunes with his truck, and it was awesome. Mm-hmm. We enjoyed it. And we're like, okay, yep, we're going to definitely start changing the Forester.
Yep. And I think that's where our love for mods and, the start of pretty much the Seattle Fozzy kind of came to be.
It was like March, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I know you said that you got the the decal or the logo overlays, and
oh yeah.
And then so it's kind of like your first quote unquote mod, but what was like the first like physical piece that you put on the Forester?
It was that. It was the front emblem overlay.
Okay.
That was the first thing we put on.
So, but I mean,
I wanted to put. What was that?
No, but I mean, besides like a decal, what was the first thing that you put on there? Because like you have wheels and tires, and then you have, I guess anything bigger is what I'm asking.
Oh, it was the lift.
Okay.
The lift was the next thing. We did that. Oh, I don't know when that was. We had the account. I think it was one of our first posts.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy's like, you need clearance, and I was like, yeah, but that's expensive. So we did some research, and he found ReadyLift, and it was a more affordable but still very reliable one. We put it on, and then after that, we're like, okay, tires.
Yeah, and then I'd say shortly after that, it'd probably be the roof basket, and then the
same day.
And then the ditch light.
Yeah, roof basket was the same day.
Yeah.
Which I still need to put the extension on for that because it looks too small up there. Baby basket, too. Baby shoes and baby basket.
Baby theme going on here.
I know.
are there other mods that you're wanting to add to the car? I mean, I know you said that you're gonna want to redo the baby shoes, but are there any other mods that you're like, oh, I mean, like, do you have a list now, basically, of other things that you're still wanting to do?
We're looking at a smaller version of the list, one that's more acceptable on a podcast. I'll let Alina read it off.
So I'd say I'm not going to go through the full list, but a couple of ones that I'm pretty excited about. Getting some rooftop lights. I know Zane wants to kind of keep this a surprise from the crew, but we have an idea for lights that we want to install on the Forester that it's a little bit different from what you see on other Subaru pages that they install. So excited for that, and I'm not going to say what so Zane doesn't kill me and ruin the surprise. So, sorry. And then next would probably be a hidden bumper and a winch. So this is something that Zane has actually been talking to me about, what we want to do with the front bumper, if we want to look into doing like a custom bumper or just a hidden bumper. And I think just for now, because we don't see, as of right now, a need for a real custom bumper for the Forester. So just a hidden bumper with a winch would probably make do until at least Zane gets whatever car he wants to get, and he can totally trick it out with all custom bumpers and whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And then we got like a skid plate. That's definitely something we want to do. We haven't done that yet. I got to figure out how that will work with our intake to make sure that we don't suck up water.
Oh,
again,
yeah.
We love puddles.
Yeah, that's important to stay out of the water and getting that in your engine.
Yeah, I mean, I've driven through rivers. So I got to make sure that I'm not doing too much.
Yeah, just get a snorkel. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, that might be something we have to do. Rooftop tent is definitely high on the list.
Yes, I want one so bad. Those are awesome.
It's so nice. I mean, I wish we could do it, just for, camping in the spring and summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd just be so much easier. Let's see. Just a couple more. The switches for the lights. Once we get all those lights on, I want to do a wireless switch. Dorothy Ninja Outback, she's got one specifically that I'm probably going to end up getting. I can't remember the name or brand of it, but that thing is sweet.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then lastly, a battery to support all the lights.
Yeah. So do you get like a separate battery for that, or do you get a larger battery that has more capacity?
There's two things we're considering. So we are thinking of maybe doing dual batteries with a circuit board, just in case we want to have the lights on when the car's not running.
Yeah, okay.
Or just doing a larger, maybe like a die-hard battery.
Yeah, that's good. So
that's about it. I mean, there's a bunch more, but...
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to go through the whole list. So I know you said that your buddy with the truck was kind of your influence for wanting to do stuff for the Forester, but are there other accounts that you follow that kind of influence things that you want to do with Fozzy?
Yeah, so I'll talk about the actual Subaru Forester ones that we follow. Very famous, like EJC Ride.
Yeah.
Love his stuff. And then SK9 Forester Whitaker. I mean, the name alone, why would you not follow him?
Yeah, that's an awesome name.
I mean, it's sweet, but I like him because of the custom bumper that he did. I don't know if I would go that route as far as what I do, but it's really cool because I've never seen that on any other Forester, at least of that body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would say for me, I let Zane kind of look into and research the Forester Subaru specific accounts, but for me, I kind of like to dabble in what the other guys are kind of doing. So I like to follow Edward Shin. So I mentioned him earlier, but he owns a Toyota Tundra. He has a ton of modifications, and specifically, he actually did a wrap recently, and he actually put the wrap on all by himself, filmed the entire thing, and so it's definitely something that Zane and I are going to consider possibly doing ourselves, mainly Zane.
That Zane's going to be doing. Whether it's nice looking or poor looking, Zane's doing it.
Yeah.
I might recruit Dakota to help me if I can.
So that's definitely something we're looking into possibly doing once we get enough pinstripes in our paint. And then another one that I like to follow, Mammoth Forerunners. So I've actually been obsessed with them. For me, I would say he's sort of the goal for me, just because of all the mods he's already done on his vehicle. It's the look that I kind of want to go for our vehicle. Obviously, there's going to be some changes just with our own personal style and what we can do with our Forester, but love seeing his stuff, and all the different mods that he has. Just gives us really great ideas for things to consider.
And you said that's a Forerunner?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah, it's a massive Forerunner.
Well, this is a Subaru podcast, so I'm gonna have to cut all that out. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's cool. I see. Like I said earlier, I don't see any Subarus around here that have any kind of mods or anything, except for a rooftop basket. That's pretty much the extent of it. But I see, like, I notice trucks a lot more now. I'll see, well, trucks and Jeeps. I'll see like big Tundras or Tacomas, Forerunners, and I'll see Jeeps. And so now, just seeing all these Subaru accounts and other accounts too, um, I'll see like a truck that's all modded out driving by with ditch lights and light bars and a rooftop basket and recovery tracks and like things that I've learned about since I've owned my car and followed other accounts that I would have had no idea what they were before. And I'm like, man, it just looks so cool, and I bet they have fun with that.
Do you plan on ever getting like ditch lights or recovery tracks or anything like that?
Yeah, at some point, but I mean, I live in Houston, and so it sucks here. There's like nowhere to go unless you drive at least 2.5 hours. And I mean, there's a place that's north of Houston that I've talked about before on the podcast called Cheeseburger Loop, and I drove about maybe less than a quarter of it, but it's supposed to have some areas that are kind of fun, but then also out in West Texas, there's like some trails out there that are a little more challenging. And so, I mean, I guess the only reason to have ditch lights would be if you're driving late at night, correct? And you need to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So, I mean, I could see having them for the trail, the Cheeseburger Loop Trail, because it's a long trail. It's like a 5-hour trail, I think. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's huge. And so I could see having it for that, and maybe a gas can and a rooftop basket for some stuff. There's
Yeah, gas cans are going to be important.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and then there is a park, an off-road park here in Houston or north of Houston that is mostly for like ATVs and bigger things because there's a lot of sand there. And so I would want to get a compressor and some kind of recovery tracks or something if I go back there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, I think things will come eventually. Right now, I'm sticking with just the decals because it's easy and less expensive, and it's a really good way to help personalize a car.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's the easiest way to do it, and it doesn't take a lot of installation skills.
Yeah, and it's nice because then it makes it stand out and makes it different, and I really like that because now I want it to stand out and I want it to be different, for sure.
Of course.
So do you have any advice to somebody who wants to get started modding out their car, like as far as maybe something to start with or places to consider, people to talk to or whatever?
I don't know about places, considering that I've done it all myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely lean on people on Instagram. Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform, YouTube that you're on. There's people out there that are doing it, especially like for an area like you where there's not a lot of cars that are doing it. There's just mainly big trucks and stuff. And then taking it slow. It's okay to not do it right away. We went pretty fast on what we're doing just because we had the means to do it. But I always tell people, like, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're going to keep the car for a long time if you're willing to modify it. And another thing that I didn't even think about until just now is be ready to take a saw to the car. There's going to be times that you're going to need to do that, like for the winch and the hidden bumper that we're going to do. I'm going to have to cut this bumper open.
Yeah, surgery time.
So be comfortable.
Yeah, I think at that point, if you're thinking about things like that, then you've got to be like okay to do some real modifications to your car, you know.
Serious modification.
Yeah. So once it
And
gets to
I
that
would
point,
say as well that I feel like adding mods to your car is kind of an ongoing project. You know, like I don't think that there will be a time where Zane and I will ever be satisfied, and if we are, it'll be a pretty short period of time, and then we're gonna be excited about the next mod we see and wanting to add it to our own vehicle. I think that's what kind of fun is that you can make a decision and decide. For example, going back to our baby wheels, make a decision and you like it, but then you have the freedom to change your mind and try out different things and different modifications. And I think that's what's really fun about this is just you don't have to stick to one decision. You can change it up, whatever mood you're feeling, you can do it.
being that you live in the Pacific Northwest and you're part of the Rugged Roo crew, I mean, do y'all feel, do y'all kind of realize like, hey, we're like very fortunate to live here and, this is cool that it's a part of our life because not everybody else has this, like, do you not take it for granted?
Oh, we definitely use every bit of it. We do think about that too, because I drive 2 hours east and I'm in the mountains. We drive 2 hours south and we're on a beach that we can drive on legally. It's a state highway. We drive anywhere and there's mud, there's puddles that we love, there's snow, sand. It's awesome. You go over the pass and it's essentially a desert. We have just about everything that you can have out here.
Yeah, that's really cool because then you have terrain in all directions to really put your car to the test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have roads and highways, so it does a pretty good job on those. But I try to find some spots here and there when I can to just like, because I bought my car specifically because I wanted the ability to go off road, and so it's like I'm hunting those places,
We'll just come up here, join us.
Yeah, I may have to take a road trip, a really long road trip.
It's a very long road trip.
Yeah, I don't know. I may end up doing that some summer because my son would love to go. He loves mountains. They got to see mountains for the first time a few summers ago, and we went to Arizona, went to Flagstaff, and then the summer after that we went to Colorado. So had 2 summers of mountains in a row. So that was really cool and a lot of fun. So do y'all have like a favorite like run that you've done, or I guess trails or drive?
Yeah, I'd say there's one. We've been on it twice. So the first ever drive that we did after getting the lift, because we didn't do any off-roading until we got that lift. No reason why, we just didn't. And then one day I was like, let's go out. And I found this place online. It's up near Snoqualmie in Washington. It's called Lennox Creek. It's pretty easy terrain at the time. And that's where we actually drove over the river. And it was awesome. It's beautiful all the way up there. It's fun. It's busy, but not so busy that you're always having to pull over to the side. And then you got where we came back, and we brought the crew. So I think it was Ninja Outback, Oli X-Track, and a few others. We actually met someone there that is now a part of the crew, which was kind of fun.
Yeah,
and there was
cool.
a lot more mud, a lot more rain, and we went through, and it was even more fun that time.
Yeah, I bet. So do y'all have like an ultimate bucket list road trip or trail that y'all would like to go on?
You really?
So I would say not necessarily a road trip, but just like a destination. I definitely want to visit the Salt Flats in Utah.
Yeah.
It would definitely be a road trip for us to get our vehicle down there from Seattle, but I've just seen so many images, so many videos of vehicles, people just, having a grand old time on the Salt Flats. And I definitely think that that's something that, if we don't do ourselves, maybe we even, go with the crew if everyone's available. I think that'd be an awesome trip for us to have. But I do know that Zane has some big dreams on his ultimate destination for us.
I don't know if I'd be bringing the Subaru here, but I would love to be able to. I would need modifications like SK9 Forester Whitaker. Like, I would love to go to Dubai in their dunes.
Yeah.
They're massive, and my buddy raves about them because he's from there, and that's I mean, that's way, like, probably impossible to bring the Forester there, but I would love to go there.
Yeah, yeah, that would be fun for sure. So going speaking of your mods, is like how did you base your decision on the brands that you chose for your mods?
I would say it had a lot to do with us obviously doing a lot of research, but for me, I would say just seeing the reviews and feedback that you can find online of people who have purchased that mod or those lights or that basket. What are they saying about it? At the end of the day, I think Zane and I really look for products that are reliable and will last us a while. So we're okay if it means us having to spend a couple extra bucks for a product that we know will work and will last us a really long time.
Yeah.
And then there's the other side of that with the crew. We'll lean on them now for decisions too. Like, Brian Lipke. I mean, he's got the most modded out vehicle in the Subaru family that I've ever seen. So I know he's got a lot of ideas. I know Dakota's going to have a lot of ideas. And anybody really who's done modifications, leaning on them is going to be a big thing for us moving forward, at least.
Yeah, and it's good to have those resources there, of people to, you know, ask questions. And I mean, so far, I haven't come across anybody, unless they have like a really, really big account and maybe they just don't have time. But I mean, everybody's been super helpful. Everybody's been very friendly and very engaging and, willing to and excited to talk about Subaru stuff. So, I mean, and now I'm the more and more I'm doing this, the more I'm getting it. It's like, yeah, these people, they love their cars. And I get it because I love mine. I mean, a lot of times any excuse just to go drive it. So I just want to be in it and even if it's just going to the store, it's like I just love being in my car.
Yeah, it's the same. Like that saying that everyone says online is if you don't turn around and look at it, then you don't have the right car. I'll do like 3 or 4 takes.
Yeah. I know. I do it all the time. And yeah, it's just like I'll be walking out from the store looking at it and I'm just like, there it is. It looks good. And it's kind of, and I see like other Subarus or other I guess Crosstreks out on the road and like I just feel like mine looks better than all the other ones.
Because it does.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's funny because, like you're talking about seeing your vehicle and seeing everyone else's and explaining that you have an Instagram for your car, like we were talking about earlier, and you take pictures of your car.
Yeah.
Has got to be the weirdest interaction I ever had. I'm like, oh, yeah. I take pictures of my car and put them online.
What? I know.
What do you mean? Well, people like the photos.
Exactly. And, and I get these challenges, like rear end challenge or side shot challenge or whatever. And there's not a whole lot of places around here that I can go that are secluded because it's like, I don't want to go in the middle of like an outdoor shopping center that has like a really cool backdrop. And then I'm kneeling in the middle of the street trying to get the perfect shot of my car as people are probably looking at me like, what is this weirdo doing? Taking a picture of his car.
Yeah, you got to have no shame.
I'm getting there.
You got to grow that muscle of like, I don't care if you're looking at me. This car is awesome.
Yeah, and if you don't think so, too bad. You don't own a Subaru. So do you go camping in your car or with your car?
We plan to do it a bunch more. Alina hasn't done it yet. I did it once. So the night before our wedding, we went out to, it was like Eastern Washington or Central Washington. It's called the Gorge Amphitheater.
Okay.
Hold a lot of concerts and stuff there, but there's an area nearby where it's like empty area, open for random camping. You don't have to pay, you don't have to do anything. There's always people there. So I brought myself, Jacob, my brother, and Sarah, my best man. We all went out there and camped overnight, and it was awesome. All I had was an air mattress that fits inside the car, and Jacob had a tent that Sarah brought, and Sarah had the rooftop tent, which I was jealous about.
Yeah, nice.
But it was nice. I mean, we definitely plan to do it much more.
So how was it sleeping in the back of your car?
Well, I realized that I definitely need those side visors that they have for ventilation.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say because when I woke up, man, it was like it was hot boxing or something.
Windows are all foggy.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I guarantee you, I was breathing through my mouth because I was definitely drunk when I fell asleep.
Yeah. Well,
And I woke up and it's just wet windows.
yeah, and I'm wondering if there's any kind of like mesh that you can put over those gaps, just like inside, so that you don't at least so you can get air but not any, bugs. Because I was thinking about
I've
that too.
actually that's a good thing you bring up. We were watching one of the videos from Edward Shin, and he had someone who I think had a RAV4, and they just bought this mesh that they put over the door itself,
Yeah.
and it covered the entire window, and then they just shut it. So the window was open, but it was mesh.
Okay. Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, because I mean,
I'd have to do
I was thinking about getting. I want to get those at some point, like the little window shade things or covers, and for camping, because we're going camping in April for our family camping trip, and I'm planning to sleep in the back of the car. But I was thinking about that. Like, I would want to have the windows down some, but not have bugs get in there.
right. It's tricky. Where would you be going camping?
I can't remember the exact place. I think it's Inks Lake in somewhere here in Texas. It's my stepbrother and his wife. They always end up planning it for us or picking the spot because they go camping a lot, and so we'll like throw some place out, and they're like, no, that's a crappy place. They know where the good spots are, and that are really good for camping, which is nice. But sometimes it's places that are like 4 hours away, so that's kind of hard to do sometimes if I can't get out there until Saturday. It's like I don't want to drive all the way out there on Saturday and then not be able to be there for very long and then have to come back on Sunday. So they go on Thursday, and I'm probably going to go on Friday because it's going to be Good Friday, and my son will have off, and I'll just take the day off.
Nice.
With your all the terrain that you have around you with snow and trying to drive through the ocean, I mean the river, and you have mud and everything. Are there any places that you drove to where you were like, I don't know about this. This is a little iffy. Not sure if we should try to go through this.
Yeah, well, there's one specifically that comes to mind. With the crew, we went up to Mount Rainier. I think Dorothy had talked about going up here. I don't know, but we went up to Mount Rainier, and it was pretty narrow. Not to mention we had like 10 or 15 Subarus with us. So
That's a
big enough crew.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's obviously social distancing and wearing masks. But we went up there, and it was kind of icy and snowy. And in front of us, there was a couple trucks and a Jeep, I think. One of them was in a ditch. The other ones were sliding around trying to keep themselves from getting in the ditch. So obviously we didn't want to get stuck in that. So we all decided to turn around. Now again, 10 to 15 cars doing 15 to 20-point turns.
Yeah.
Not super safe. There was actually one point where, and I didn't catch this until after, but we were probably an inch or half an inch away from our front right tire going off.
Oh, that's scary.
It was scary, and I'll probably poop my pants. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be terrifying, especially if you're seeing other vehicles sliding around on some ice, because I mean once that happens you can't really stop that. It just goes.
Yeah, it's just trying to maintain where you go.
Yeah. So what is your favorite terrain to drive through?
Well, we just went on one. I think this is one of my new favorites. These new places.
Yeah, I would say one of our favorites now is actually from a surprise birthday party that Zane actually threw for me this past weekend on Saturday, actually, with the rest of the Rugged Brew Crew team. And we went to Ocean Shores, which is about a 2.5-hour drive away from us. And at Ocean Shores, you're actually allowed to bring your cars on the beach and drive on the sand. Most of the time when it comes to beaches, you have to park your car and then you have to walk the rest of the way in the sand. But on Ocean Shores, they actually have it as a state highway, so you're allowed to drive your vehicle on there And so we actually had some fun this past weekend driving on the sand. And what was really nice is that although it was raining, surprise, surprise, it actually was perfect conditions because then the sand was wet and it was compact and it made driving on it super easy. If we had gone in, let's say spring or summer, then we would have had to watch out a little bit more just with soft sand and the possibility of getting stuck.
Yeah.
So I definitely have to say Ocean Shores is probably one of the top ones for me.
Do you have a preference of like whether you enjoy driving through mud or snow better?
I feel obligated to say mud because there's puddles.
Yeah.
But I would probably, even then, I'd probably still prefer mud because snow, it until you're in it, it's hard to tell whether it's super icy or not.
We're still looking for a trail that has really good powdery snow that's, pretty easy for us to drive through. A lot of the trails that we've tried, driving on have ended up being icy. And that's just something that we can't really predict, Sometimes the trails are more powdery, so it's easier for us to drive through. Other times it's more icy, so it's just a little bit more dangerous.
So when you bought Fozzy, was black the color that you were set on, or were you considering other colors too?
I don't think there was any consideration. We looked at the sport trim specifically because it had that black and orange.
Yeah, that's nice.
But if there was another color, we'd consider maybe white. I would have liked silver, but Alina doesn't really care for silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, just with the specific Forester Sport orange, I didn't really like the way that it went with the silver or even the blue. So I'd say probably for me, definitely leaning towards the black and the white versions.
Yeah, the black with that orange definitely looks really good. I like that. Good choice.
It's slick. Thank you.
You're welcome. So do you have like 5 essentials that you keep in your car when you're out going out on trails?
No, there's 2 different lists. There's Alina's and there's mine. I'll let Alina go first.
Okay.
We thought it was fair to separate out the list just because I feel like mine is definitely more for, I would say, the everyday driver. Zane's definitely more for, any off-road stuff that he thinks would be necessary to bring along. So for me, I would say top one is probably chapstick. No one likes chapped lips, especially when you're driving. So that's an essential for me. Next, I would say sunscreen, and that's actually more so for Zane than me.
Tasty boy. Boy gets burned.
Yeah, especially just like with your left arm in the summer when you're wearing, a t-shirt or a tank top and you're going for those long drives, you don't really notice, and then you end up with an uneven tan.
That's terrible too.
Yeah.
You got 2 different skins.
So definitely sunscreen, and then next couple ones, I feel like they're pretty self-explanatory. So napkins, you never know when there's going to be a spill, when you want a snack, anything like that. I put down our dogs. I would say dogs are essential for us, especially when we do go on longer drives. I think it's nice to kind of have like a little companion with you. We went on a drive a little bit ago in the snow, and just being able to let the dog experience the snow, because it had not snowed in Seattle, but there was snow up in the mountains. And just seeing the excitement on their face kind of, just made Zane and I kind of grin and smile and, kind of made it feel like, oh, this is fun, having a really good time there.
And everybody loves cute dogs.
Exactly. All
Of
for
course.
the gram, And then last but not least for me, I'd say hair tie. Windy conditions, rainy conditions, you never know. A hair tie comes in handy. If you need a rubber band, if you need something tied, hair tie is very dependable.
Yeah, that's a good list. All right, Zane, you're up.
I don't know if I'm the hair ties. They have short hair for me. But my list consists of, I call them, I say actually basic, but you need these. Like, first of all, first aid kit.
Yeah.
I think that goes whether you're off-road or not. It's just having that. You get a cut, you get something like that. It's good to have it. We bought an air compressor, so, going in the sand. We didn't air down this time, but anytime we're, going to go into new sand, especially in, the summertime, airing down is important, and you want to be able to air back up. Water, that kind of goes without saying. It's the same thing of the chapstick. You need to be hydrated. Ratchet straps. That's another one. So if we're getting anything, grabbing anything, if we have a cooler or something like that, we can strap it up to the basket up top. And then spare jackets.
Spare jacket?
Yeah, spare jackets. We go to the snow a lot. If I fall in the snow and it gets wet, I want a warm jacket.
Yeah, that's a good point. How'd y'all go about putting together the giveaway that you did recently with the brands? Like, how does that kind of get coordinated?
I reached out to the Gorilla Off-Road Company originally, and I kind of asked him some pointers. He actually helped me out a little bit, but just reaching out to a few other brands, Eccentric Designs, reached out to Dorothy for the Rugged Roo crew, and just asked them to throw in some products. Could you do this? Could you do that? And it pretty much consisted of paying shipping, so for the stuff that was tangible.
Yeah.
And then because Jen threw in a gift card, that was really easy just to email that over.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's a good, definitely a good feature.
And it helps. I mean, you want to do that, in my opinion, you want to do that for the smaller businesses to help the local guys if you can, if they're willing to. Get them a little bit more of an Instagram presence.
Yeah, for sure. Especially right now with everything going on, it's good to help out small businesses.
Of course.
So before I get into my last couple of questions, I want to say that y'all are my first couple guests.
I feel honored.
Unforgettable.
Yeah. So what would you say your favorite thing is about owning a Subaru, and then I guess your favorite thing about being part of the Subaru community?
I'll let Alina answer first, and then I'll answer.
I would say owning a Subaru, I just feel like it's reliable at the end of the day. I know my car is going to get me anywhere I need to go, but also with whatever weather conditions get thrown at me, I know that my vehicle can get me where I need to go. So I just think it's just really reliable. I'm a little biased, not going to lie, but I have one of the best cars out there right now. So, and along with the community, I would say it's kind of like a second family in a way. I think it was pretty seamless for Zane and I to, everyone on the Rugged Roo crew team, get along with them, talk to them. Obviously, we have a common interest, which is our vehicles. But I think outside of that, just being able to, for example, like the surprise party, having them come out to surprise me for my birthday and, taking time out of their days to do that. And although, everyone had their Subaru there, there's a sense of community that you can't really find anywhere else. And they're definitely like a second family to us, and we really appreciate them.
Yeah, it's really, it does feel like a second family. And it's corny saying that, hearing it out loud, but the Rugged Roo crew, for us at least, and even just the people who are following us on Instagram and we're following them, there's, like Dakota said, there's no real egos in them. Right? You go to the Jeep crews or the Toyota crews and all that, and there's these guys who have been doing it for decades who need to have the beefiest mods and everything. And with the Subaru crew, well, we admire the ones that are really, really going for it. There's no shame for the ones who are just staying stopped or just doing the minimal stuff, because you're still living the good life of the Subaru life and you're part of the community.
Yeah, because I feel that, that I'm not able to do the mods that I want to do very quickly, but I feel very welcome even though I don't have all the mods that other people do.
Right, yeah, and it's still a Subaru. They're still a part of the family, and even stock, it's a very capable vehicle, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah, I found some mud that it was able to get through very easily.
You're already a part of the Rugged Roo crew.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have another question that I just thought of, actually. And being that you're part of the Rugged Roo crew and being that you've lived in Seattle, you pretty much your whole lives, and would you ever see yourself living anywhere else?
I think the one place that we've actually considered separate from here would be Colorado.
Yeah.
Very similar. A lot of more flat areas, but the winters and the summers are pretty dramatic, which is going to be awesome. And it seems, we have friends over there too. I have an aunt that lives out there, so it's not going to be too far-fetched to live there, but that would be the only other place that I can think of that we would want to go. I mean, I'd love to visit California and go with the cruise out there, but I think Colorado's where we'd be.
Yeah, I've been out to Colorado, I think maybe 3 or 4 times, and it's maybe 4 or 5 times, but it's definitely a place that is on the top of my list to live someday. It's just, that was the first place I saw really big mountains because I had been out to San Diego before and I saw, some mountains that are not quite as big. But the first time I went out to Colorado, I was just like totally blown away and I fell in love with mountains. And now it's like, I would used to travel for work, but not so much anymore. But when we would go
Right.
any place that had mountains, I would walk out my hotel door or walk out of the hotel and see mountains, and that was just like the most beautiful thing.
They're awesome.
And I definitely think that's something that, I mean, Zane and I kind of take for granted being up here in Seattle because we're surrounded by mountains. I mean, we see Mount Rainier to the south, we see all the Cascades, we see Baker, and I definitely think, like, if Zane and I ever do decide to move or go somewhere else,
Gotta have mountains.
yeah, it has to have mountains. Otherwise, I feel like something's going to be missing whenever we look outside, or just like it's weird to not see a mountain.
Okay, like on a side note, I lived in Georgia. I think I already said that, but it was flat. Like, it was weird to me that I didn't see any mountains anywhere.
Yeah, and I mean, I live, in Houston. I've lived here my whole life, and it's very flat here. And so when I go somewhere that has terrain, and then I come back home, I'm just like, God, I miss it so much. Um, and there's one of my son's friends. His friend's mom is from San Diego, and her husband is from here. And so when they would go out to San Diego, he was like making a big deal about the mountains that they have out there, and she's like, "What? It's no big deal." And then
Like, you don't know it is.
yeah, well, and then she moved out here, and she's lived out here for so long where it's flat. And then so when she went back home and she saw the mountains again, she was like, "Okay, now I get it." It's like I mean, they're just I would love to be around mountains all the time if I could.
Oh, yeah. Like she said, we take that for granted sometimes. I mean, there's times where I'm just like, oh, there it is. I
Yeah.
forgot we had these.
Well, I want to thank you both very much for taking the time to do the podcast and for, wanting to be a guest here and for sharing your love of Subaru in the community and talking about your build and, just other things that you've done with it and things that you want to do. So it was really nice talking to you both.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
You're very welcome. And, I hope y'all have a good night. And again, happy birthday, because this is out on your birthday, which is super cool that it worked out that way.
Thank you. Best surprise.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, well, y'all have a good evening, and I will talk to y'all later.
Sounds good. Bye.
All right, there we go. Another episode down. So since it's Alina's birthday today, go ahead and give her a happy birthday wish and check out the podcast and let me know what you think. We will see you back next week for another one. Also have a few of them recorded, so I'm good for the next like 4 weeks, and then I'll look at getting some more people on. So trying to keep track of that too. And there's a lot of people that I have kind of in the pipeline, but I need to make sure and get that a little more organized. So thanks again. And also want to apologize for the hum earlier on in the episode where I'm doing this. Somebody next door was running their heater or something, and my microphone was picking up on that. So try to produce the best sound quality I can for the show, and that was a little annoying, but there wasn't really anything I can do about it. So hopefully in the future, maybe I can, have a little bit more quieter space. So anyway, just wanted to apologize for that. So have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you on the next episode.